Okay, so since the first episode of Mad Ramblings went over pretty good, I've decided to do a second Mad Ramblings, and I'd like to show everybody what I have finished. This is the last of the Warden fleet that I'm working on, and we have 2 Firebirds, the Bad Birdie, and the Revenge of the Paperboy. We have the Bolivian Bruiser, the Kevorkian Special, and the Heartbreaker. Now, these were completed yesterday, basically. And just talk about them a little bit. I got 2 of these big air balers. One of them came in with my Secret Santa, and originally I didn't know what I was going to do with it, because I had seen a lot of other people do them, and so when I got one for Secret Santa, they gave me the 2 of them, and they decided to become a team here. And so there's, I can't remember which one of these I actually got for the Secret Santa. I believe it's this one. But this here is a very fun build, with 3D printed parts from Etsy, and I'll put the name of the store in the description of the video. But they do really, really good work. And the story behind this one is it's a brother and sister car for the Warden, and they work together, and it's armed with rockets, obviously. Pink is, I don't have a lot of pink cars, so that's one reason why I decided to do it this way. And originally, I was going to do red and green for Christmas, pink for Valentine's, and the other cars in this team would be all holiday themed. The problem was when I did this guy, I accidentally got the same colors as the Bolivian, or it's also very close to the Portugal flags. And I was like, the Warden is Sao Paulo, Brazil based, so having someone named that would be fitting. And I still decided to keep the holiday theme for the Heartbreaker. And so still rolls. Some of my cars don't roll, but if I can keep them rolling, they roll. And I still play with my cars. I can't help it. But this one, of course, is front ram, a little bit of blood effects, harpoon. Very simple build. The one good thing about the Warden is they like to ram with perks like Battle Hammer. So every hazard that you get, you're adding damage. So you're encouraged to be a bit chaotic. And the other thing is you generate your audience votes when you explode. And so you really want your cars to kind of explode late in the game and in a cluster of your opponents. So this car is built just to do that. Harpoon someone, bring them in for a ram, If you take them out and you're still standing, great. Just focus. Focus. Okay. But if you take them out first, great. If they take you out, then you'll still explode. There we go. And potentially take them out with you. And the Warden, if you've ever played Warhammer 40k, and I'm pretty sure most people have, the Warden is very, very close to like Imperial Guard, where if you lose a car or two or three, you probably will have another car still standing to win the race. And so you don't shed too many tears when they explode. And so that's what the Bolivian Bruiser does. If he survives, great. If not, well, the fans get a wonderful, wonderful explosion. And the fans love their explosions. Now these two, I don't have too many just plain straight up silver cars, so I decided to paint this one straight up silver. And my brother got these red and gold glitter pins, and they write really well onto the cars. But the problem I ran into was the ink does not dry very quickly at all, and it smears really, really badly. So I have two solutions to that problem. The first solution was with Bad Birdie here. And again, I did this, if you've ever seen a lot of the old style dragsters, they have like fancy names written on the side, and they usually have funny sayings on them or something. And I wanted to do something like that. But what I did with this one was, after I got the ink to relatively be dry, I took in watered down Mod Podge, which this here is a cure-all for a lot of problems. And this right here is probably a must-have for Gaslands because of the myriad of applications you can do for this. It's an absolutely wonderful, wonderful tool. But so covered it with Mod Podge, and that's how this one looks. This one is, of course, more of a battle car, straight up. And you can see it's made somebody's day really bad. This is actually a very easy effect to do. You'll take some red ink, a little bit of brown ink, mix them about, I say 50-50. You could do a little more to the red, a little more to the brown. Depends on what you like for your car. And then you'll get a brush, like so. And you'll get it soaking in, and then you'll just pull it up to your lips and just blow real hard. And when you blow real hard, it'll spray out like that. And then all you got to do is kind of paint in the little bits of gaps where the spray doesn't go. And then you have a really nice, realistic splatter effect. And you can see I did some rust work here. The Warden is one of the few cars I actually do a decent amount of rust effect too. Gaslands is in the lore, is a TV show. So I imagine that a lot of cars are getting sponsors, racing on TV, and they want to look good. Warden is one of those that the drivers are actually cheaper than the cars, and so the cars are kind of interchangeable. So the shells, they vacuum out the remains of the driver, put in a newbie, seal it back up, you know, fix some welds over the bullet holes, and get it back on the track. And Bad Birdie here has front-mounted machine gun and a nasty little trick with a rear-mounted harpoon and oil slick. Because if your opponent is going to be keen on avoiding your dropped weapons, the best way to make sure that they go through the oil and through other hazards is to harpoon them and drag them through it. And as long as they don't have Battle Hammer themselves, or some of the other pro ramming perks, like In for a Penny and I think Hog Wild, you will be in pretty good shape, because even if they hit you in the rear, a tailgate is one of the lesser damaging rams, so it's always good to have. And basically, Bad Birdie is a very dirty bird, and fighting dirty is a Warden way of life. That and exploding, of course. Now, the Paperboy. This kind of dates me, but there was an NES game called The Paperboy. And when I was a kid, I thought the whole point of the game was to cause as much chaos throwing newspapers at people as possible. And the whole time you were chased by dogs and grannies and random tires, and it was a fun game. So, The Revenge of the Paperboy 2, and we don't talk about the first one, is armed with improvised sledge thrower that fires mines. And again, this is a good combo with Bad Birdie, because this guy can sit there, drop a mine behind Bad Birdie, and then Bad Birdie can pull the target through the oil and into the mines for a big double damage. Because oil doesn't do damage, but it does hazards. And mines, when they do damage, they're a blast weapon, so they do hazards as well. It's a great way to make your opponent wipe out. And then you run away and try to get to the finish line. Like I said, Gaslands is a game where you don't really want to play fair. And again, I did the same glitter pin here. Now, this one doesn't roll. I've got these wheels from Creepyherogames on Etsy. And I've got a lot more than these. I like using these. You can see here, I tried to actually make it a roller. I took paper clips, made straight axles. I just accidentally glued it to where it doesn't really roll. So, and it's a little lopsided, but for a game, it's fine. And this one here, the solution I came up with this one was I actually had some acrylic sealer. And I gave it a brief hit with the acrylic sealer. And which I think, even though it said it was matte, it made this thing shiny. But I think that worked better, because even the Mod Podge kind of smeared Bad Birdie a bit. But overall, it really is a beautiful car. And then we have the Kevorkian Special. Now, like I said, I'm not a big rust hound, and I don't go too rust crazy with my Gaslands cars, but this one just screamed to be rusty, bloody, muddy, because the one thing you don't want your medical vehicle to be is dirty, rusty, and, but it's the Warden. It's a badass by lowest common bidder, so I actually like this one. This was, again, I got these wheels from a Secret Santa, and did the door welding effect with green stuff and super glue. Normally you don't want to just pull your super glue onto a model, but this time I pulled it to really bulk up stuff. So I wanted to make you see here where it's the pipes coming out of the hood. Well, I caked up the super glue to kind of make it look like they were just welded through the hood, and it's thickly welded. So you basically do everything they tell you not to do when making a model. And so this is the Warden Ambulance, and I don't think I need to explain why I call it the Kevorkian Special, but it is what it is, and I really like this one. This one turned out really well. So I don't know. It's probably not the correct way to do a lot of rust and mud and stuff, but because really and truly rust should pull in areas and then it should sit in recesses. I kind of went a little crazy with it in this one, but it's even got a rusty harpoon. There was a time I thought about calling it the tetanus, but like Kevorkian just fits so much better, especially with the lore of the game. Being a criminal doctor coming to keep his warden buddies alive, but the opponents not so much. So that's that. That's the finish of these cars. And now we're going to show what's coming next down the pipeline. See all this? All these cars are going to be eventually they're going to be completed, but they will be vehicles you can buy on my Etsy store. You can find my Etsy store at KingOfCatsCrafts. So we'll have a new performance car, buggy, another performance car here. It's still in the lacquer thinner. Got a truck, another performance car, because I like performance cars. And these are really cool. Got this truck here, and it's got seats in the back. So we've got room for crew, and we got this cool little fella. I almost decided to keep this, but I'm thinking about running this as a souped up ice cream truck for Maxine. And it's an old McDonald's car, and it had a internal light inside and batteries. And I think if I just replace the batteries, this thing will work. And I've got to figure out a way to make it so whoever buys it will be able to replace the batteries when they inevitably fail. But other than that, that's that. And of course, we've got the finished car of the month. The Beast of Bodmin Moor. Oh, there's going to be a lot more to come on this one, though. I'm still working on the Cayman and the piece of terrain that I showed in the last video. Try to get that all together before the deadline. If not, probably by Friday I will have this officially entered. But you can see it is done. And she is ready to bring these anti-aircraft flak cannons down on somebody. So, there's that. And I talked about this last episode, but this is how I do my cars. As you can see here, I did these. I go in order. And go down here. So I did these Verney teams, Michigan. I did these Order of the Inferno cars. And then I came up here, and all these are Warden. And where you see AB is where I've already built a car. And each one of these is teams. So, Oblivion Bruiser and Heartbreaker, and are going to be in the first team up here. I have an ice cream truck that will go with them. And Gods of Daytona, that was in yesterday's episode, is the center one. And then, of course, you can see here where I planned out Bad Bad Birdie, and the Bird of Paradise, and the Paperboy, and the Kevorkian. And you can see here what I'm going to be doing for my own personal self very, very soon. Oh, yeah. Scarlet's next. Now remember, shoot something with dice. Bye.